All right, Hugh. So reducing the values only works so much, um, and it's the problem with it is that um, the problem with it is that you've got a reading thing, but the problem is when you put in your these thresholds, and they're great for like giving you that idea, but the problem is when you do it, you're removing a lot of the information that I think you can kind of push um, without it, if that makes sense. Um, think of it instead of trying the values. Your value reads well. Let me just draw a new layer here. So in this one here, or these two are here and here, your value reads well. The problem is this one here, the value starts kind of going, I'm not too sure about. And it's mainly because your silhouette here is lacking. Um, and what I would try to do is instead try adding a posterize with, because you can do the posterize and it'll read the values, right? But if you do three values, come on. So if you do three values, it gives you a better concept of how your things read. And this is just my personal preference. Um, which is why on the previous piece, I kind of flipped the background around just to get the values to read better. Um, the big thing on this one, what I would say is looking at the values the way they are, I would say going in and let's grab, come on. Oh, not on the right layer. I would go in and grab, and I'm doing this really rough here, just to get you an idea. But do you see now how that reads a little bit better? And then, I think this reads well with the two values or with the three values in there. I think it reads really well. What I would do is darken, I would change up let me grab this stuff here. What I would do is I would almost grab this character here. Just not having luck today here. Alright, so I would grab, this and let's up the contrast on that. And do you see, then take this back here, and to be honest with you, I never even saw the little guy sitting here. Um, and that by doing this, um, I think the values separate a little bit more, and I would do something. I think the white separates well here, and it goes into a nice dark there. Um, like I said, I didn't even see this little dude in here before. So I would almost, I don't know, it feels like this guy is like an afterthought. It just doesn't read right. And I don't know why. I didn't, like I said, I didn't even see him in here. Um, so if you're gonna put him in there, let's get the levels on him as dark. So I think he a little bit more contrast and stuff, so he reads a little bit better. Um, and I think that's a key aspect of what I would do, because looking at this now, I'm starting to read him a little bit more, whereas before, he's completely gone from the scene. Um, and now I've got more of a hand, more information in there. This is still my focal. These are still my focal points. This can be an afterthought, which is okay. And from a value standpoint, both of them kind of stand out a little bit better. In case you don't like that, what I would do is I would go into the dodge tool here. Let's more exposure. Speed this up here. Okay, so by doing that, do you see how this guy starts popping out a little bit more? And it's like now rays of sun kind of thing. And I would maybe even pop him a little bit more, because it draws him closer to this character. And that might be a little bit too bright, but I think that reads a lot better, from the value standpoint than the other two do. Like I said, I think separating that background to pop him out in the foreground, and I think pushing the darker values up here. But my particular work tends to be a little bit darker, um, and so I always need to adjust the value contrast and stuff. But I think I think that's a key point in what you want to do here, is just push that separation between elements. Um, especially with the front and the back of this character. You can still blend that in back there, but I think doing so helps it out a little bit more. And I think it reads a little bit better. All right, I hope that helped.